So the first point we have on the agenda for today is the Marketplace API. First, let's see what it is used for. So Ingram Micro has developed an API, which might seem to be a really technical concept, but in plain English, it serves for automating your daily task. So you don't have to log into our platform and do them manually. The API allows a program to communicate directly and automatically with our platform. In this way, the processes could be all automated. So, what are the benefits of using our API? First of all, you will streamline your daily task. You will also save resources so you can focus more on your own business. You also will avoid manual errors of doing manual tasks, and you will simplify your billing system. With the API, you can integrate different kinds of systems with our cloud marketplace. These systems could be your own e-commerce, a CRM, an ERP, or a billing system. But you can implement our API with other systems. Let's see the main use cases of our partners. So the first one could be an e-commerce platform. Your company might have its own e-commerce platform and you want to sell Ingram Cloud Marketplace products without logging into our platform or making your end customers do it. With the API, you will be able to get all our catalog information, like the prices, the availability of each product, and then transfer all that data to your e-commerce platform. You can also take all the customers' information from the Ingram Marketplace and transfer it to your e-commerce platform. Or you could create customers automatically on our system using the API. Once you have the customer in our system, you can place orders on behalf of them through the API. This way you can get all our catalog information, sell it through your e-commerce platform, and then if a customer places an order with you, you will place that order automatically on Ingram Marketplace. So as I said before, you could be able to sell Ingram products through your own e-commerce service. The second use case is integrating Ingram Cloud Marketplace with a CRM. For example, let's say your company has Soho and you want to integrate it with Ingram platform. Using the Ingram API, you can take all your customers' information from Ingram and transfer it to your CRM. You will also be able to get all the information about a customer's subscriptions and the orders that they have placed. So you will be able to have all that information in your CRM in a really automated way. The last use case is an ERP or a billing system. This case is more focused on order information and the billing data. Through the API, you will be able to get all the order information and to get a report with all the billing data, so you will be able to do your billing reconciliation and transfer all that information to your ERP system instead of doing it manually, and therefore you can create your customers' invoices in a more automated way. Okay, so this could be the main use cases, and you might be wondering what the API looks like. However, the API doesn't have an interface where you can see how it works. You need to develop a program on your side to make the request to Ingram API in order to get all the information that you need. To develop that program, you could need a software development team, or in case you don't have these skills in-house, you might require a third party to help you do it. Alternatively, if you have any doubts while carrying out the development, you can always reach out to me. I will be pleased to help you, and you can find my contact details at the end of this PowerPoint. Let's move on to see how to get access to our API. So our API is not public, which means you need to have a subscription key to use it. You can now get the subscription key on your own and directly from the Cloud Marketplace platform. I will show you how to do it. It's really easy. All you have to do is log in with your reseller account and search for Marketplace API in the search bar. Once it appears, you add it to your cart, then you go to the cart and you purchase it. As you can see, it's a free purchase. So you just click next. Okay. Once you have purchased it and the subscription has been activated, you will have a new tab in the left side menu called Marketplace API. If we click on it, some key parameters will appear. The first one is the API URL. So this URL is the base URL you will have to use when making the request to the API. This URL changes depending on the cloud marketplace you are logging into. For example, this one says EU as I'm logging into a cloud marketplace in Europe. The following parameter is the username. The system creates a user automatically to use those credentials when sending a request to the API. First of all, you have to activate the user by clicking here in the name and then activating. The last parameter is the subscription key, which is required for making any request to the Ingram API. It is hidden, but if you press the eye icon, it becomes visible. Finally, here is a button that links to the API documentation. Let's see what you can find in the documentation. This is the last version of the documentation. We will keep it updated while changes are being made. Let's start with the specification section. Okay, in this section, all the operations that can be done through the API are explained. They are grouped on the left side in different categories depending on the topic. So, for example, down here we have all the operations that can be done around the customer management. So we have get a list of customers, create a new customer, get full details, and the rest of the operations. So let's see, for example, get a list of customers. Okay, so here in on the right side, there is the URL that we have to send the request to, the type of the request, and the required parameters that you have to send in the headers of the request are explained here. Also, there is a query parameter section where you can find all the parameters to filter the customers by. So as you can see, we can filter the customers by name, email, or an external ID. And these two parameters could be for the pagination. Also, on the right side, you have an example of how the response would look like. So here are all the required parameters for each of the operations, and an example of how it could look like can be found for each of the operations. You can go through all of them. Okay, let's move on to the how-to section. All these procedures are explained here in a more functional way. So for example, let's go to see the manage orders procedure. And here you can see all the things you can do around manage the management orders. So for example, if we look at the place orders, you can see how to place an order depending of the type of order that we have in the Ingram Cloud Marketplace. So we have a sales order, a change order, a renewal order, or a cancellation order. And depending of the type, it's explained here how you have to make the request to the API. And we have the different operations explained in a more functional way. Finally, another important section in the documentation is the sales scenario. You have to look at this section in case you are using the API for placing orders. Depending on the service you are purchasing, you will have to send one of these parameters in order to activate the service correctly. Of course, there are services which don't need special parameters to be sent. All right, that's all for the API topic. If you have any questions about this, please write it down in the chat box and I will answer them at the end of the webinar. So the next point on the agenda is the integration with ConnectWise or PSA integration. Ingram has developed this integration to make it really easy to integrate our system with ConnectWise Manage. We can find this integration inside the Cloud Marketplace platform in the left side menu in the Integrations tab. If we press on that button, for now it will only appear one tile named ConnectWise. But in the future there will be other for the upcoming integrations like Autotask integration. So go ahead and press that tile and it's going to take you to the sync dashboard. So if you have already set up everything before from an integration point of view, the first move you have to do is always check from any changes you have in the Cloud Marketplace. So for that, press the Check Changes button here, and then any new order would come up through. They could be a sales order, a renewal order, a cancellation, or a change order. The most important is to sync over those initial sales orders. As you can see here, it says sales order. So if we press the Sync Changes button, it will show us the integration panel. So as we had synced already some products for this customer, it already mapped this, but let's go back and show you how to do it. So this is the customer mapping panel where it maps the customer in the Cloud Marketplace with the customer in the ConnectWise Manage. As I said, it's already mapped, but let's unmap it to show how you have to do it. So you start typing here the name of the customer and it will show up. You choose it and then you can continue to the product panel. From here it's already mapped, but then let's unmap it to see how it works. So the same, you can start typing it and the product will appear if it's already created in the ConnectWise Manage. If it isn't created, you can press the Add Product to ConnectWise and then some of the values will be pre-filled with the information from the Cloud Marketplace. You have to fill the rest of the fields and then press Add and Map. But as we already have it created, let's just map it and continue to the agreement mapping panel. So here we have to select the agreement within that customer that we have created in ConnectWise Manage. As you can see, we have only one annual agreement for this customer, so we choose that one. And then by default, it's going to load the prices from our Cloud Marketplace. I will recommend choosing the Cloud Marketplace pricing as all those are going to be accurate But if you do use any other pricing different from the one in the marketplace, you can choose the ConnectWise pricing, or you can also edit it here. Also, you can set the bill on or off, and also for the tax if it's a taxable service. And then you can sync all over and it will appear in ConnectWise Manage as a new addition inside that agreement for that customer. So this was a manual process, but this is only required to be done with the initial sales orders. However, if we go to this settings icon and we go to settings tab, okay, this is where you have to set up the initial configuration. But there is an option here that says automatically create and synchronize task. So if we turn on this option, the renewal orders, the cancellation, and the change orders will be mapped automatically each 5 minutes or once a day, depending how we configure it. So only the initial sales orders have to be manually done to create that link between Cloud Marketplace and ConnectWise Manage. This automated process is going to help you save a lot of time. We do also have a mapping panel. There is a customers mapping panel, and also we have a products mapping panel where you can map all the products from the Cloud Marketplace with the ones in the ConnectWise. And if you don't have it created in ConnectWise, you can add it a new product from here. Let's move on now to the ConnectWise Manage platform to show you what has to be done on their side for making the integration work. We have to first set up a security role. So for that, you have to go to System tab and then Security Roles. We do have articles in the knowledge base that explains all the permissions that has to be done for creating this security role. From there, we have to create an API member. So for that, we go to System Members and then to API Members. So you have to press here the add sign to create a new one. But we already do have a new member for the integration. So you have to fill the member ID and the member name. And once you have that information filled out, you click on the save icon. And then these API keys will show up here. You go to the API keys and then you press the add sign. You fill in the description like API keys and you press the save sign, and then the private and the public key will appear. You will need to take that information and use it to achieve the connection between ConnectWise and Ingram Marketplace. So there are a couple of other options that are required on the ConnectWise side. You are going to require to have the customer's company created in ConnectWise Manage. So for that, you have to go to Companies. For creating a new company, you have to press the plus icon. There are some required fields that need to be filled in. Let's search for a company that has already been created to show you what it looks like. Okay, so here is the company information, the address, and also some company details. You can also add contact here. The second thing that needs to be created inside this company is the agreement that you have with them. So for that, you have to go to this tab here that says Agreements. And we have already created two agreements for this company. One is an annual prepaid agreement and the other one is a monthly prepaid. So if you need to create one, you just have to press the plus sign. Those are the two required categories that you can't do from the Ingram integration itself. However, as I showed you before, you will be able to create any new product from the product mapping screen. Alright, with this we have covered the ConnectWise integration point. Please feel free to ask any question in the chat box and I will be answering them.